What's up, Culture Drop? I am Galen. This video is about a little concept that I think is really important for change management, teams navigating change, and just like having success moving through change, and that is the idea of disagree and commit. Inside organizations, the reality is that as we evolve in business, as we move forward, as we grow, as we just adapt to the universe and the industry and what is happening in the universe, is that change is inevitable. And another element of that is that not every single person will agree with every single decision. And a very important concept for teams to adopt as a mindset and sort of behavior around that is this concept of disagreeing and committing. What that means in a nutshell is that regardless of how much anybody disagrees with a decision or a direction for the team, is that their responsibility to the team outweighs their protests to it. It's really important that every single person wholeheartedly embraces that change and moves forward to give the rest of the team and the organization the best shot at success. If any individual or an entire team is pushing back against or trying to sabotage a change, which does happen where people don't try on purpose, right? Or they do things to hope that things fail or make it worse for everybody, it creates a situation where it's doomed to fail, or at least incredibly difficult to move forward. Yes, that falls to the individual to take ownership and responsibility that even if I disagree with this direction, I'm going to put my oars in the water and I'm gonna row and make an effort and be committed. And I think there's responsibility on behalf of the organization to move through change, to communicate change, and navigate change in a way that sort of gives you the best chance to bring people on board, allows people to ask questions, etc. And so there's balance there, right? Where there's responsibility on both sides to do it well so that overall everybody can be successful. A couple things that organizations can do in that regard is to, number one, get people to embrace those mindsets, right? Talk about change agility, train people, imbue it into your culture and feedback and how you are as an organization, that instills in people an openness to change. Secondly, be willing to challenge the way that you've always done things, right? So have a sort of growth mindset about that, where you're open to challenging the way you do things to be is this the best way to do it? And always be open to feedback and evaluating things and just having those courageous conversations. And the third one is how you communicate change. So be open to sharing the why behind changes so that people understand it and they make less assumptions about it. I think it's possible to let people know that buy-in is not optional and this change is not negotiable to people, but also give them an opportunity to ask questions, gain clarity, right? Share their concerns or fears, so that we can all be on the same page and be listening to those things so that we can avoid pitfalls. And directly for employees, understand that you have an obligation to the organization, that if they make changes, if they go in a certain direction, you do have a responsibility to pull your weight, to be committed, to engage, right? And move forward, even if it's something that you don't necessarily agree with. In closing, the two elements that make teams able to successfully navigate change is organizations understanding that change can be difficult for people, right? Communicate really clearly, give people an opportunity to express concerns, ask questions, gain clarity, right? And be transparent about changes, as well as individuals, is that you have a responsibility to pull your weight, to commit, and go forward. And when teams have those things in place from individuals and the organization, it allows you to sort of navigate the choppy waters of change and just move forward with as much success as possible. Thanks for watching and tuning in. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. We have our weekly email list, the Culture Drop. You can subscribe to that and get these emails right in your inbox. Follow our social media channels. Put out a lot of free content around being more awesome and building great teams.